about an hour. We try to make it quick. Let's try to make it quick. Shout out to the Share Gang. Appreciate you guys. Really love you all. It's the Dallas Cowboys conversation that rules the nation. Yeah. Jerry, let them know.
I want me some glory hole.
No doubt. Don't forget about the jersey giveaway. We're giving away the CD Lamb jersey for those who participate in the donations. Hey! Oh, let's go. Think about this. We ain't looking for $1 million. No. We're not looking for that. You can make a donation as small as $1. Huh? And you're going to get a real one. Not none of that fake stuff. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. They say, ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yeah. Let's go. Come on. Mama, there go that man again. Yeah. Jerry Wayne Jones.
This is Sparta!
Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
If it's your birthday this month, happy birthday to you. Yeah. Shout out to you, Gina. Iceberg Q. I see you. Van Cat, I see you. Let's go. Yeah. Right. From Mississippi, shout out to you. Yeah. Jacktown, get down. JSU. Yeah. Say, hey, go party like a cowboy party. Yeah. Roll. Yeah. You roll it. Yeah. You roll it. Come on. Mic check. Let's go. Hey, it's a party. It's a party, baby. Yeah. Come on. Oh. Let me hear one time. What's up, beautiful people? Really appreciate you guys on this midday sports report. Law Nation coming to you guys real, raw, and uncut. Everything is from the dome. But we are here to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. We are. And we can look at it like, have we been down this road before? We can look at it like, is there something to be worried about? No. This is a situation and chance that we can look at it like, man, we got a beautiful problem to have. Beautiful one, right? We talking about Lyle Collins, a guy that in 2019 was ranked, I believe, in the top epsilon of all right tackles in general. Hell of a year in 2019. There's been many of the moons since then. 2018, he was right there. We saw the improvement from 2017, right? As a right tackle. Tackles are important. But one thing that I can say about this right here, Cowboy Nation, the right side, when you have a right-handed quarterback, he can see the pressure coming. It's more important, the blind side. Holding my hand out so somebody can grab my hand. The blind side. I recall when Tyron Smith first got into the NFL, they had him at right tackle. Doug Free was the left. And Tony Romo, he was like at one point, that's just too much wealth on the right side. The right side, I'm right-handed. I can see the pressure when it get to me. And matter of fact, that guy's doing a hell of a job at right tackle. Let's kick him to the left side. Different administration, different situations. But at least when Doug Free got his butt whooped, we can see the pressure coming, and I can get the ball out. So my thing is, Cowboy Nation, we that watch a lot of football, we can understand it. We get it. La'el Collins, we want him back at that right tackle just from a comfort situation, just from a staple piece of being consistent situation. But we see that he is better kicked inside. Why, Law? Do you have any tape, any evidence on that? I mean, come on, man. The last time he played left guard was when he was his rookie year, then his second year. Yeah. We can go back and forth with that. But what if I told you that at left guard, he never allowed a sack? The word never allowed a sack. And what if I told you that on your blind side as a quarterback, your left tackle and your left guard, what if I told you that you don't have to worry about anything over there, you know? Instead of always with the antsy feet, always thinking that, hey, I got something that's coming my way that I got to move around that I can't see. And I'm not sitting here saying that Connor Williams is what's on the bottom of anybody's feet. I'm not saying that. He improved. Case in point, I don't think nobody can argue against me with facts, but they make my teeth white. You know, it took literally 3 years for Connor Williams to finally trump what La'el Collins did in his first year as it relates from a metric aspect of what he was playing at left guard. Can anybody out debate me on that? I'm waiting. I still got that thing on the line where I said I give somebody $100 if they can outshine me with some film. And I'm still waiting. The time is still ticking. Right? I'm still waiting. I'm like, well, I'm waiting. You know, with the song, who running? Who running? Ain't nobody running to that film room and said, hey, let me show you something. It literally took this guy 3 years. People done had kids that's talking now, walking around for him to overcome what Collins was able to do in his first year. I digress. All right. Let's pull this up right quick and boom. I want to see y'all lovely faces when we do this. And I want to play the audio from Mike McCarthy. You know, we want to hear what he have to say about everything. And this is not finalized. We still got to go through practice. That's the good thing about it. And I'm not in the ability or in the room to make any changes with the Cowboys, by the way. These are just my thoughts. We take them, we shake it around, and we see what stick. Let's listen.
We just start with an update on Dak's status, what he'll do today, and in light of where he is, will Cooper Rush work in and get some more work with the starters than usual?
Yeah, definitely. I think Dak has improved every day. Today's plan is for him to start in all the individual. So he'll be working through the individual in the fundamental periods in the group and into the combo, and then we'll assess where he is at that point.
How do you balance with where he is with the potential to get Cooper more work with the starters than he normally?
Definitely. I just think it's a matter of trying to, make sure Cooper's ready and to make sure Dak is getting what he needs. But,
No doubt.
until Dak clears the threshold of, the rehab component with Britt, we won't, make that determination of going full go until we get to that point. So with that, we got to make sure we're getting Cooper ready too.
You really have to work along two tracks. I mean, getting both guys ready to play Sunday and just see how it plays out with that.
Definitely.
During a normal week, does Cooper get time with the ones during practice?
Absolutely. No, Cooper gets 1 rep. So I think it's important for really keep developing all those quarterbacks, whether it's the look team reps or the opponent reps. I think it's clearly something that we try to do throughout with our younger players. Just always a focus on the future, because you look at a guy like Zach Martin, or, they only need so many reps at this point. So you're starting to balance those type of situations out.
If you have to hold Dak out of team period stuff, how does that influence the decision for Sunday?
I wouldn't read more into it based on what snaps or what occurs today. So no, I won't. Whoever takes the team periods will not determine the decision on Sunday. Just to answer your question.
This Dak Prescott out here right now in practice, as you guys can see. Shout out to Todd Archer. He reporting this right now live on his, Twitter page. And keep in mind, practice is going on. They are able, let me repeat, they are able to practice today with the media. So the media can give us some insight. Now, although it may be a little delayed, but they're gonna showcase some of the information and present it to us. And he also reported that Collins have not played since 2016 as relates to that guard spot, but he did say that Terrence Steele will start at the right tackle Sunday versus the Minnesota Vikings, even with La'el Collins back from suspension. According to Mike McCarthy, Collins will also work at guard during this week. So this is a situation whereas, and I believe one of my guys, Cowboys fans only, my dog over there, he tweeted out, Jay Tuck, he tweeted out, if Sucky played well at left tackle, there will be no conversation about will the Cowboys start Tyron Smith or Sucky. So let that sink into your mind. But let's listen to the rest of this interview. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Where I'm at. Here we go.
What you've had quarterbacks that have played through calf strains before. What do you need to see during the week of practice to say, okay, he can protect himself, if not move around the plays he usually do?
I went through something similar back in 2014 with Aaron Rodgers. He heard it late in the year, and then we were dealing with this, in playoffs. So obviously a different time of year, but there's a protocol that Britt and Dak have a tremendous relationship. So this is something that they've established over the years. So just as far as the particular injury, the ability to improve each day and not have a setback, that's really what we're focused on. So how we play will be a big part of it. Just to make sure that he's full go and he has no limitations is what we're looking for. We are in week 7.
How difficult was it for Aaron to play through back then?
Oh, it was difficult. It was the weather was different. 2 outdoor games, and then played up in Seattle there in the NFC Championship game. So yeah, that was a challenge. But it was January. It's a different time of year and had some different circumstances.
Certainly not to minimize it, but
before they get into that conversation there, that was the same game that we were saying, how come we can't get to Aaron Rodgers with that, he was limping around and he was still finding ways to throw the ball down the field in 2014. Yeah, we recall that, but Dak Prescott is a warrior. He'll be out there Sunday.
Is it a little easier to manage at that position than certain other positions like a receiver or an offensive lineman where it's all just burst or push? Or...
Definitely. I think it's clearly the position that you could probably play with a calf strain earlier in the rehab process than the other positions.
Mike, you mentioned the communication with Britt. Just how good is Dak at that in terms of being, straightforward to how he's feeling, going back to the shoulder and training camp and obviously the ankle last year?
I mean, I think he's getting better because he's so driven and he's always going to push through. So I think it's like anything. There's a tremendous history there that you have to tie into. So Britt and Dak have a tremendous history and relationship. So I feel like we'll be on the same page as how he progresses through this. But yeah, I mean he's going to do everything he can to play on Sunday, and that's a given.
Is there any part of you that looks at the standings and are comfortable leaving the division in a decision like that, or do you just throw that kind of stuff out?
I think it's a clear decision. We don't want this to be a week-to-week situation, so until he clears that threshold to try to minimize the risk is really what the decision will come down to.
What is the threshold putting a percentage on where the strain is, or is it just what he actually is able to do physically?
It's a great sports science question that I'm not going to act like I know the answer to, but I think some of that's makes for good content. But no, I think we're going to trust Britt and Dak and the whole process. And
let me show y'all again, man. Let me show y'all Dak leg. Dog, you see that thing stretched out right there? Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session. As we take a look at the J's on the feet, we also see Dak Prescott stretched out with his calf extended. You don't do that when you have a leg situation. You don't do that when you have a leg situation, Cowboy Nation. You don't. And I love the fact that, Mike McCarthy is trying to be coy with it. He's trying to not give away all of the sauce, but the Dallas media, they continue to poke, punch right in. And I know that we have one of the best media coverage out there, because when I go to like Vikings to get Vikings material, when I went last week to go look at the previous team, the Patriots, they probably have 2 people in there. Cowboys got literally 10, 15 people asking this man questions. But they continue to spread the narrative. I love it.
And make the right decision.
Mike, the other guys who are working back, who you're getting back in practice, what's their status? And any of them that you anticipate might be able to play on Sunday?
Well, we're not going to talk about anybody playing on Sunday till Sunday, right? Isn't that how we do it, Brad? We'll get you on the radio Sunday if Rich doesn't forget about the call. But no, we're starting to get those guys back. Dorrance Armstrong will do more today. Kelvin will do more. So I'm trying to think who else it hasn't. Tristan, Mike will go through the individual. So we'll start working those guys back, and but whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, but it's good to get those guys back out there.
Would you say a little bit about Tristan? What you hadn't really had a lot of time with him. You didn't draft him. What's your read on him and your expectations?
I think he's such an explosive player. I thought he did some really good things last year before he was injured. So, he's been chomping at the bit to get back out there. So I thought it was, he had great energy Monday, in the team periods. So, I mean, just to get him back into the heavy lift, I'm really looking forward to seeing him work tomorrow in the pads. But he looks good. I feel like he's, clearly almost fully rehabbed. He just needs the football part of it now.
Is Collins back as a full go, or do you ease him in because he's missed 6 weeks here?
We're gonna push him in there. I mean, he looks good, moved well, Monday. So, obviously, LC has position flexibility. We're going to start the week with Terrence at right tackle. So, but LC gives us some great competition in there, and so we're going to try to work him as much as possible this week.
Now, hear me out. And I'm going to post a link to the full interview. I know you guys are going to be like, hey, why you keep stopping, pausing, and rewinding for your mind? But I'm going to give you guys some commentary here. Here's the situation. The news must hit already for them to go with the mindset that they're going to go ahead and start Terrence Steele. That Collins probably didn't show a good sighting at practice today. For them to make that definitive statement and stance to say, okay, Terrence Steele is starting against the Vikings. Something happened in practice today. That's all I'm going to say.
Positions are you going to flex him in?
We'll work him with tackle and guard.
Y'all see him tackle?
Yeah.
What is McGovern? Will you do anything new with McGovern this week? Will he get first team reps at center or anything of that
Yeah,
nature?
we'll continue to work him the way we've been working him, both with the center and the guard position.
Yep.
So the official PR depth chart lists LC as the second left guard. He hadn't even been listed there for several years. What should we read into that?
Well, it's, Rich is doing his homework. He's paying attention and looking at past depth charts. So we can give Rich a hand on that if you like.
How long did it take to put that together, Rich?
It's a conglomeration of many things that factored into it.
Good job, Rich.
Obviously, you're setting up the competition here because Steele's performed pretty well. But is that the benefit of what Steele's done for you now that Collins is back and missing this time? You kind of look at him and see who the best five are going to be?
I mean, you clearly got to recognize how well Terrence played. I mean, it's, we all recognize that. Continuity of the offensive line is something that you're always striving to sustain over the course of the year. Those guys, the intricacies of what goes on up front, the reps of them playing together is crucial. So we want to continue to grow that, but also I think this gives us the most competitive, the most depth I know that I've had in my time here in the offensive line room.
He played guard before he swung out to right tackle. Is it easy to move back inside where things are quicker and right on top of you?
Well, I mean, we'll find out. So I mean, that's all part of it. I think position flexibility is always important. So we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to seeing him back out there.
When you told him that, did he understand, or did he embrace going back inside?
No, he's a pro. LC's gone through a tough spot. Being out of it here for the 5 weeks, but I think he's done a really good job in the weight room and staying on top of his conditioning. He's just anxious to get back out there. So
Right.
What's the challenge of slowing Dalvin Cook this week?
What's the challenge? Well, I think he's, obviously, I love his running style. I like the way he attacks the line of scrimmage. He's a classic one-cut runner in this system, which has been a really good system.
Pose! Look at Dak throwing that ball, baby. Y'all see Dak? Thank you for tuning in to the Low Nation Film Session as we take a deeper look at Dak Prescott. Yeah, the feet look like it's planted. Oh, there's no support system. Hey, and he got an arc on the ball already. It may be that we can't keep anything secret. No, not in Cowboys land. No. We got one of the best reporters out here in Cowboys. Oh, no, not in Cowboys, but the media coverage in the world, right? So the Vikings, they might as well say, Cooper Rush, nah, we're gonna go ahead and get ready for Dakota Prescott. Dak Prescott is going through this from John Machota, by the way. Let me share his thing so you guys, because he's one of the guys I've been using majority of his content, and I want to give back. So y'all be sure to check out John Machota. Check out his Twitter page. Dak Prescott going through some individual throws today. He went through a longer warm-up than usual, but he was moving well. With two L's in his work, and hey, we know, Cowboy Nation, any reporter know that if they see a limp, a gimp, a less than as it relates to walking, that is TMZ ready. That is news flash ready. That is da-na-na, da-na-na. That is all of that's ready. Because, people want to get the stuff out. They want to. Breaking news. Dak Prescott is limping on Wednesday. Don't you know how many clicks they will get for that? But they can't say it because he's not limping. He's not favoring one leg. The reports would have read Dak Prescott struggles in practice because he's favoring one leg. Telling you, that Mississippi mud, he went to Mississippi State, although he's from Louisiana. But I'm telling you guys, that Mississippi mud, man, you just go put a little Mississippi mud on your leg, everything else will work its way out.
For a long time in the league. So, he runs through arm tackles. He does a really good job of filling the apex and hitting the crease before it opens. So, you have to really have your gap control intact. So, he's definitely, had a chance to play against him last year, and he's off to another great start.
Is there anything that you're looking for Lyle to show in practice and meetings and the sort that would make you say, all right, you're ready to retake that right tackle job, or how do you dictate that competition and what Lyle needs to show?
I just want him to get back out there and get back in the routine of everything. I think it's like anything. There's a reason why we practice. It's a reason why those old linemen, spend so much time together, and just the way they go about their business. So I just want to see him get back in rhythm.
How the Joker be clapping like that, baby. That's good, Cowboy Nation, because he said, I just want to get him out there on the field. I just want to see him out there in practice. I'm not giving you nothing. I just want to see you out there in practice. Let's go.
How disappointed are you in KZ? He apparently got arrested over last week doing a bye.
Yeah, it's obviously anytime one of us makes a mistake, it's a learning opportunity. There's obviously a legal part of it that it's still pending, so we'll go through that process. But I had a chance to speak to him at length, and he made a mistake. So we're moving forward, but once again, I think it's something we can all learn from.
I can talk back on Dak here for a second. Is it fair to say that you're preparing as if he will play, or you're going in thinking he might not play? How do you view your mindset with him right now on a Wednesday?
I think I've already answered that. He's going to practice. He's going to go through the individual part of it. He's in the game plans. He's preparing to play. But he's got to cross the threshold to make sure he's full go.
Reporter, why don't you lean forward a little bit? I don't know who you are. No. Should have been paying attention. And that's what you get for talking stuff, I couldn't put the other drop in there because, he said cuss word on that one. But that's what you get. That's what you'll get. You got to pay attention. He went through a whole interview talking about what the preparation and what the plans would be for Dak Prescott, and you asked, you gonna go try to give him that one. Come on, that. It's crazy, man. Let me see, are you
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
With Casey, have you heard from the league, and do you expect there to be any competitive?
I have nothing else to report other than what I just talked about.
Oh, my gosh. Mike, I love it because he said, I have nothing else to report. I just talked about KZ. The kid made a mistake. We talked to him. Oh, and he got to wait for legals. Guess what? In a Class B misdemeanor when nobody got hurt, and I'm not sitting out there saying that you should get behind a wheel and partake into some libations, but what I'm saying is that we don't have all of the facts. We don't have all of the information. And matter of fact, it could be thrown out. There's many of cases that stuff been thrown out with KZ. And his date in court is 90 days. It could be 90 days from the citation, or if it's one of those situations whereas, believe it or not, hear me out, it could be pushed back even further. the season could be over with. This can be during the summertime of next year, or when they go through all of the legal parts of it. Mike McCarthy he real today.
Is there a day or tomorrow's padded practice? Is there, when would that threshold, I suppose, be determined for Dak? When you seem clear, getting clear?
There's not a timeline. I mean, I think like anything, I mean, he's a proven veteran player. He's playing at a high level, so we'll give him the whole week to make that decision.
How does Jaron Kearse bring energy to the defense? And is that aspect of his role in the room something you knew going into the season?
Well, we knew he was a heck of a football player. I mean, just, had a chance to, compete against him from, across the division, and always had great respect for him as a special teams player. He was a huge matchup challenge when I was in Green Bay and he was in Minnesota. And then I thought, when Detroit did a nice job, utilize them in their sub packages, and you could see the matchup, capability and the production that he had up there in Detroit. And he's been everything plus that, since he came here. So, you could see the ability, the flexibility that he gives you, defensively. But, you really didn't know what kind of person he was until you have a chance to work with him. So, love his work ethic. I mean, he's a great communicator, and he's done a really good job of just totally doing it the right way, and super competitive, but he's been a great addition to our football team.
No doubt, man. That was the end of that interview there. Shout out to DallasCowboys.com. He was talking about Jaron Kearse on the end of that one. Let's do this. If you guys click on that link there, it will take you straight to the video, and that way you can watch it from the beginning to the end of it without me pausing and rewinding and take your notes down. With that being said, Cowboy Nation, excellent points by Mike McCarthy, and we get it. The media going to do their things, and the players are going to do theirs as it relates to playing, and they're not worried about the small things. This Dak Prescott, he looks like, from what I'm hearing and seeing and what people are texting me, is that Dak Prescott, man, the dude gonna play. Latest depth chart. Okay, yeah, I already pointed that out. How much does the Cowboys' NFC East lead factor into the Dak Prescott decision? And then Mike McCarthy replied, I think it's a clear decision. We don't want to be a week-to-week situation. So it's until he clears the threshold, they're going to try to minimize the risk, and the decision comes down to that. I recall my last stream yesterday. I talked about this briefly. There was a guy that played all last year, I think midway through the season last year, with a torn, was it a slight tear? Was it a slight ACL tear, Cowboy Nation, that Tom Brady had? Can you guys let me know, would it have been nice for that organization to panic and say, you know what, let's put some ice on that. Let's see if we can, wrap you up, put a brace on it, and sit you out. Did that happen for that organization? And I'm not sitting here saying that organization, by them playing Tom Brady, makes better decisions than ours. But what I'm saying collectively, winners focus on winning. Losers focus on losing. If you ever seen people that will always make it their circumstances the reason why they're not successful, whether it be they grew up in a single-parent home, whether it be they grew up in a dangerous neighborhood, didn't get the chances and opportunity as someone else, and they always make these excuses. They always say, well, I've got limitations. They always use those as excuses, right? And then the moment something comfortable happened in their lives, right, or in their life, basically. Yeah, MCL, Terror, appreciate you, Gina, appreciate you so much. Yeah, last year for Brady. The moment they get something to be comfort in their life, they got to lead on something. They get set and settled, and they get satisfied for where they at. Well, I come here to tell you guys, y'all come here to spit. Y'all want me to spit the truth. Y'all don't want me to lie to kick it. Right? Y'all come here for the real deal, right? I come here to tell you there should be no comfort in the 5-1 lead in the NFC. And just because your division is trash, there still should be no comfort in looking at this thing saying, okay, we already accomplished something. Like I said, there's no Super Bowl that's been won in October nor November. Huh? There's no award given that you can walk around with and say, I'm proud. But people would rather for us to say, oh, since we got, I can't believe that reporter said, since we got a comfortable lead in our division, don't you think it would be wise? To start resting your players? To sit it out? And I know that the what if situation and what if scenario can be knocking at the door. But I go all the way back to this movie.
This is Sparta!
I go all the way back to that movie when they was finna go into war. And there were some other people, the barbarians, I believe, that wanted to help them out to fight against the Persian warriors. Although this movie is not based off of a true story or what have you. People can say it's fictitious, but whatever it is, it's the mindset that I want people to focus in on. Don't miss the meat worrying about the potatoes. It's the mindset. He asked all of his Spartan warriors. Well, before he asked them, he asked the barbarian, what is your profession? He said, man, I'm a blacksmith. He asked the other guy, what is your profession? I believe one other guy, I'm paraphrasing, I'm a fisherman. What is your profession? Oh, I'm a blacksmith too. And then he looked to his guys, and he asked one of his troops, he said, or all of his troops, I'm paraphrasing, what is your profession? And they said,
this is Sparta!
They all said, Arcadians, I appreciate you. The Arcadians, came to help. And they said, what is your profession? And he said, this is Sparta, and we Spartan warriors. So line by line, the Dallas Cowboys need to know that this is war. We're 5-1 right now, and we haven't accomplished nothing. I don't give a dog where we ranked at, where it relates to NFL rankings. Dun. That's all spices. That's all sugar. Those artists that we listen to right now, they got a studio probably just like this. Just like this that I'm in right now. And they learning songs, they're writing their music down, they're practicing on their craft. But if they don't, the next person behind them will pass them. And all of y'all will chew them up and spit them out. I don't give a dog if it's your greatest artist of all time. You would then start sullying and denigrating them because you would say, hey, when the last album you came out with, right? You got to continue to be hungry. PhD mentality, poor, hungry, and determined. Your mom, appreciate you so much for the $50 donation to help elevate the nation. Go Cowboys, annihilation, obliterations, eviscerations, liquidations of Kirk Cousins and those Vikings. Appreciate you so much, your mom. A round of applause. Appreciate you so much. I really appreciate that. All right, so I got a guy that we're going to listen to for right now, and he have reservations. But let's listen to him.
I'm very worried about this Vikings game. Not just on the road, but these receivers, man. Dalvin Cook, I still think the Cowboys can get exposed defensively. What are you looking at in this Minnesota matchup?
Oh, no doubt they're going to get exposed.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. But that shouldn't scare you quite like it scared you before, because Dak going to expose something over there on their side too.
You worried about his health at all, Mike?
I am. I'm worried about it for I'm not worried about him not playing.
Yeah.
I'm worried about him not being at full strength. I want him to be able to move around. We talked about the other day on the show, I wouldn't take anybody right now over Dak Prescott. I wouldn't take. I'm not taking Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's good for that system. I don't know if he'll work in my system. I'm not taking Tom just on the age thing.
Allen.
Tom's a little older. And I'm not taking Josh because Josh runs a little bit better, but Josh don't see the field like Dak Prescott see in the field, and it's not enough age difference there for me to say I'm taking Josh. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not taking Aaron Rodgers because I don't want that old funny ass attitude in my locker room.
I cannot believe that has not harmed Green. I discounted them before the year because I thought that thing would tear apart from within, but I can't believe it hasn't so far. I'm waiting for him to announce he's staying there again. How are you going to leave this situation if they've especially given you more power, but Green Bay's on top?
Yeah, they're on top. He's a special talent. He really is a special talent, and they'll still win. They'll win all these games here where it'll rear its head is up in the playoffs when the grind hits and that narrow way comes. That narrow way means you got to be tight all the way around with your whole football team. Everybody, it's going to be one of those gut check games like Dallas had in New England, where it's either us or them, and everybody has to come together, and there can't be any crack in the armor. Then somehow, some way, you'll see it. You'll see it like you saw last year when they decide to kick instead of going for it on fourth down. That they're not on the same page. Somewhere that crack in the armor will come.
That's a good call from Michael, the playmaker Irving. Shout out to you, Coach Marv. Let me see if I can get your comment right here. Thank you for the super chat. Coach Marv says, Law, Tampa didn't get off to a great start last season, so Brady had to push it out. But if Dak is hurt, no need to push now. Hurt the end results. I respectfully disagree with you, Coach Marv, because right now, you see, in this particular division, we're 5-1, yeah. The Eagles, the Washington team, the Giants, yes. I can say that we pretty much a good lead of those guys. But right now, I do not want to have the mentality to say, okay, we're comfortable, we're full, let us lay down. Let us figure this thing out another way. Because I come here to tell you, you got to still have that mindset that I have not accomplished anything yet. And why you say that, Law? Why are you saying that? Because I got a point why I say that. But bear with me right quick. Let me see if I can find it right quick. This should not take long for me to find it. All right, let me see. I know I had it somewhere. Come on, computer screen. Work with me, computer screen. You should never be satisfied.
Ain't nobody about to give you nothing. Success is earned. Just because you stronger, bigger, and bolder, ain't nobody about to just hand it over to you.
Nobody's going to hand it over to you. Let me see if I can find it right quick, Coach Marv. And when I'm not looking for it, it's everywhere. But when I'm looking for it, I can't find it. But, hey, it is what it is at this point. And I'm going to move on from there. Where you at? You got to be somewhere right here. Come on. Oh, I'm sitting in the wrong category. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Come on, baby. Where you at? Peter must have got it. They must have removed it. But I got this for you. Hope you guys can see this. Dallas Cowboys, we're 5-1. The Green Bay Packers, 6-1. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 6-1. Arizona Cardinals, 7-0. We got to be looking at this thing right now, Cowboy Nation, is that when we look into this situation, momentum is everything. And when you can look at Dak Prescott in practice, throwing the ball around, moving around, walking, going to his destination without a limp, not favoring another leg, you do not sit that guy out for the comfort that you feel that would benefit him just because we are in a comfortable lead. Because this does not mean a hill of beans if we got to go to Lambeau to play. This does not mean a hill of beans if we have to go to up there, down there in the South and Tampa Bay land to go play a playoff game. And especially if we have to go to the Arizona. I want the Super Bowl or the playoff to go through Dallas. I don't want them catching us sleeping behind the wheel. I want us to have the mentality and the mindset that, hey, if it takes me moving Connor Williams out of the situation and bring in somebody that can solidify that interior, like, dare I say, a Elijah Collins, if it takes me having that heart-to-heart conversation with, be honest and say, we like what you're doing, but you're still young, you're still wet behind the ear. We're going to slide in Connor McGovern at that spot to solidify our interior, to give our quarterback the best chances and opportunity to be comfortable in the pocket. Then I would do that. Juxtapose to benching him. Another case in point, in 2014, Mike McCarthy lamented the same situation, but he said it was during a different time frame, meaning that, man, I wish I could find that audio clipping, but meaning that Aaron Rodgers was hurt, but he had played throughout those last few games to keep the momentum. And I was saying even in that playoff game, this guy is with one leg and whooping our tail. But they could have had that protective mentality too, right? I know y'all came here for the raw and the real and uncut, but I appreciate you, Coach Marv, because I know it coming from a coaching mentality of where you came from. You know, if the push is not necessary, and on top of that, I will look at it like this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their coaching staff, fluent with a whole bunch of guys with seasoned experience, right? But everything was being terraformed over there. Remember, that was Jameis Winston team, right? Who just was removed. And there were still some old labels attached to that team, predicated upon the players that was playing that particular football over there in that organization. And I tell people all the time, being placed in that box and having that label on you is hard to remove. So it goes to show you that sometimes when you terraforming something, it takes a longer time for everybody to pick up what the quarterback was trying to relay to everyone. A lot of trolls in here. Shout out to you, Corey. Yeah. Great. Shout out to you. Bird Gang in the house. Bird Gang 31, man. What you doing over here, man? Appreciate you for jumping in over here, man. I don't think we play y'all until a couple of weeks, but shout out to you, man. Thank you for jumping in. Every view count. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, so I appreciate you for jumping in. You know, just grab you a cup of coffee, kick your feet up, and relax. You know, you listening in to the nation. All right. Let me see. I don't think that there was any other audio that I have at this point, Cowboy Nation. It's still early Let me see if there's any other news out there as relates to such, and we going to have to roll in a few because let me see if there's any other news, any other updates. No other updates, no other news. Bird Gang said, "Sorry, my bad." Nah, you can chill. You can chill. Look. You guys are right now 2-5. You're in second place, basically. So the season is a long one. Will you guys finish out above the Washington team? I don't know. Will you guys finish out above the Giants team? I don't know. But crazier things happen. I believe last year the Giants were 1-7 or something like that, and they was fighting for a playoff. I believe it until the end of it, right? Right? So it's always a possibility. It's still young. No Super Bowl is won in October nor November. The Minnesota Vikings right now, 3-3. That's the team that we have to play up against. I've had some Viking fans to jump in over here, all in the comment section, said, hey, they could have easily be 5-1, or they could have easily be 6-0. And when they went through all of their games or what have you, and they had some valid points. They said the first game of the year they played against the Cleveland Browns, and they said that they was caught without minimum preseason games, and they were still trying to learn their way. And then the second game they lost to the Cardinals, where they gave them a hell of a fight, and the kicker missed the kick. The final score was 33-34. So they had some points there, but I'm telling you guys right now that I'm not falling asleep on any of these teams, regardless of what their records are. I'm trying to win every game. Let me see right here. These are rankings. I meant to go over this anyway. The Cowboys, we're averaging 460 yards a game. I said that on my quick video. They're also in passing 296. They put us in 5th place. And with the likes of rushing, we're number 2. I believe in passing, I think the Vikings are in 6th place. They're right behind us in passing yards or what have you, but that's neither here nor there. Turnover battle, we're in 4th. But what we need to really improve on is the sacks. I know we're getting pressure. I know we're getting quarterback hits. But we can't be ranked at the bottom with sacks. You know who's hanging around in that category? The Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe, let me see if I can click on that full list right quick. Bear with me. These are the teams: Jacksonville Jaguars, Atlanta Falcons, the doggone Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want to be mentioned in these guys' company as it relates to defense. All of those teams at the bottom end, these teams are not doing well as it relates to winning games. So we can look at this team objectively and say, hey, we need to improve on not getting a lot of penalties, because we've been getting a lot of penalties, and we need to get more sacks. So hopefully Randy Gregory, and this is me objectively speaking, by the way. I don't want people to say, hey, no, you're being negative with your team. No, objectively speaking, this is me being objectively. We need to get to the quarterback, make him pay. We need to find ways to create more pressure to even this thing out, Cowboy Nation. And I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied with 5-1. I'm not. I'm ready to move on and get more and more dominancy. Shout out to you, Corey. Appreciate you. No other news. Let me see. Let me check on my guy, Gelkin. He normally have some good stuff here. We go down to Michael Gelkin. Let's see what he have. Okay. Cowboys defensive tackle Tristan Hill is practicing for the first time since tearing that ACL. And it's good. You see, I forgot who wore number 72, rather. So he looked pretty good in training camp, by the way, when we was out there in Oxnard. So we get a chance to see good old Tristan Hill. He's back in practice. So my thing is, what the Cowboys are going to do, we'll find out. Because I get it. We're missing Brent Urban. But you guys do know you do know that he had, well, let me see if I can pull it off the top of my mind. He had 8 pressures from the interior. That's pretty good. 60 snaps. 60 snaps on run defense. So is that a lot of snaps to be worried about? No. So that means he was coming in only on rush downs, right? So it's primarily your first and second down. So he was the first and second down guy, but 60 snaps, if you divide that up amongst, 5 games, 6 games, I mean, he's a legitimate rotational guy at that point. And according to Pro Football Focus, let me pull that up so everybody can see. Let me see. He was doing bad in the majority of those categories. 3 assisted tackles, rush defense 45.5, overall 47.4, 56.9 on pass rush or what have you. And you will see the 8 hurries and the 8 total pressures. That was pretty good. But he only had 60 snaps on pass rush. I mean, on defensive rush and 99 on pass rush. So those were his grades. So when you look at a Carlos Watkins, his grades are a little bit better than all of that. And I'm not saying that you discount what Brent Urban do out there, because even if you pull up film, which I tried to look at Brent Urban's tape, you would say, okay, yeah, he was there, but it wasn't like, oh, wow, he needs to not be off. You don't need to move him off the field. No, you had to move him off the field. But shout out to Brent Urban. I hope all is well. But what we're looking to do, and what I believe the Cowboys are going to do, and I think we talked about this briefly on the final word, they're thinking about this right here. When Gallimore get back, you kick Navale Gallimore at that 1, and you keep Osa at that rotation as that 3. Oh, excuse me, you keep Tristan Hill at that rotation at that 3, and you slide D-Law in on certain packages as that 3. Oh, let me keep going. We got a lot of 3s. Golston can play 3. So that 3 tech is very valuable in this particular scheme. So also, man, Gelkin got it all over here, baby. Gelkin got Gallup back at practice here. There's Gallup in his uniform. He's back out there, and he's lined up ready to get some work action in. Shout out to Michael Gallup. Practiced today for the first time since suffering a calf strain, and that was on September the 9th. So that lets you know that he didn't have that mild calf strain. He had that real one. All right, so and then on top of that, he saw La'el Collins amped up to work at both backup guard and right tackle. So I love knowing that, Cowboy Nation. I flat out do love seeing and reading the fact that he was amped up to play. You never want somebody sulking, especially after they've been suspended or hurt and come back and they sulking because somebody else getting the glory, getting the shine. I tell people this, write this down. You want your team to be like a knot on a rope. When the opposing force is pulling on it, that knot gets stronger, that knot get tighter, that knot is almost unbreakable. You'll have to dog near cut that knot in half. You have to take a knife or something to wedge it out. And I like seeing this, Cowboy Nation. So we seeing some good pictures there. That La'el Collins is at right tackle from what I can see at this particular picture. And then he's working in with Joe Philbin, who I believe got the final say over all of this in the final report. And there's La'el Collins right there, walking out there with just based off of these pictures here. Oh, he got some more stuff. Boy, let me just do this. Let me share Gelkin's Twitter page. He's a good follower, by the way. Be sure to check out his information. Great content over there. Be sure to check out Michael Gelkin, and this is Dak Prescott pointing. Oh, yeah, and that's Biotish. Y'all see Biotish right there? I know you got to squint your eyes to see it. And then, of course, this Dak Prescott on the sideline going through some drills, and he's throwing the ball. So, and I believe that they are not allowed to video it at the practice. They can only take still photos. So, Cowboy Nation, really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. You guys continue to share this content, continue to tell people where to go, and just let people know that, hey, this dude, Law Nation, I ain't right 100% of the time. I wouldn't want to be right. That's the good thing. I don't want to be right 100% of the time. No. Y'all can leave that to somebody else. I'm wrong. I'll never be shy to say, hey, I was wrong, But I'm not this guy that walks around with his chest out saying I know it all. I'm not that dude, Cowboy Nation. But some people may feel that I am. But I give people chances and opportunity to showcase their thoughts and mine on this platform. And I really appreciate you guys. Be sure to check out all of the content that I do. Subscribe to this channel to help grow and elevate the nation. Speaking of elevations, write this down in your fabrications of your thoughts. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or lied about, don't deal in lies or hate it and yet give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your whole life for, broken and stooped and built back up again with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all of your earnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss to lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe one word of your loss. If you can meet with triumph and disaster, like I said before, and treat those two imposters just the same, just sew that into the fabrications of your mind. Tattoo it on your chest or back. But more importantly, if you can walk with kings and presidents and never lose the common touch. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, then you, my friend, have unlocked the true meaning of what it takes to be a champion. But more importantly, you have unlocked what it takes to be a man. That's been my time. Really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Turn me up. It's time to roll credit. Shout out to this. It's brought to you by Graphic Zone HD. 100 grand. Y'all know it. Y'all know it when you see them. Yeah. Here we go, baby. Let's go. It's time for me to get out of here. Got some more work to do. Love y'all. One love, baby. Hey, don't forget, Cowboy Nation. And Bob, this is not a trap game, by the way. No. Yeah. Nowadays, nothing really excites. You see, a trap game would be if we playing against an 0-7 team. This team is 4th ranked in defense. This team is 6th ranked in offense as it relates to passing the yards, So how can that be a trap game? Oh, and by the way, they leading the league in sacks. This is a challenge. Come on, turn me up. Hey, yo, let's go. Come on, turn me up.
Now I move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama telling me count up your blessings and run it up. Yeah. Nowadays nothing really excites me.
Credits, baby.
Like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on blinging she freeze. Photo. Please. No photos. No. Jeez. No. Please. No photos. I keep giving game away.
Appreciate everybody. Cole, thank you for the super chat. Your mom, thank you. Coach Marv and Nobel. Royalty.
I got paid off pain today.
Come on.
Thought it'd take the pain away. In my own lane, finger roll. I would never sell my only soul.
Never.
Heard your whole team was for sale.
Put some fire
Who this
on
on
this
the
thing.
market for the low? Who the
Yo.
realest, we might never
Come
know.
on, it's low.
All this acting, you
It's
can play
low,
a role.
baby.
Give you the world when they sign you up. Try you out and then they line you up.
Oh.
Now you're looking hungry, ribs are touching, need some food.
Come on, you need
now
some
you're
milk.
all on live acting surprised, but you was fooled.
He needs some milk.
Come on.
Now you're old news. Now you got the pen and pad, you're trying to take my moves. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody
love,
take me.
baby.
Ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on, bling and she freeze. Photo.
Let's go, Dak.
Please, no photos.
Yeah.
G's. No. Please, no photos.
Yeah.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody take me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on, bling and she freeze. Photo. Please, no photos. G's. No. Please, no photos.
I want me some glory hole.
Let go! Yeah. Add it up, baby. Come on. Where my button at?
I ran
Yeah.
up a check, I might do it again.
Might do it again.
Enemies close, had me thinking
Where
they're
my enemies
friends.
at?
10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city,
It's
I
party
don't feel safe
time,
in my
baby.
hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm
Yeah.
not dead to know him, but the one who took my sins.
What we
I
tell
do
him?
it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up. Bankroll.
If you're watching all the way to this point and you not subscribed to this channel, come on. Come on now. Hey, we giving away stuff, baby. So, for those who want to win something, we got something for you guys. It's going to be nice. It's real deal, Holyfield.
I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart. I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month. I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up.
Come on now.
Buying car, take it tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me.
We
up
giving
the
away the
ladder.
real stuff, baby.
No, I done doubled up on the workload.
Come on.
I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll.
Come on.
Euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll.
That was easy.
Peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything
Come
is
on,
on
baby.
me. Oh, you matter what?
Let's slow it down a little bit.
It's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it.
Let's go, baby. Revelations of your heart, soul, and mind. Let's get it. Yeah.
Take a drag of my cigarette. Breathe me out, breathe you in.
Yeah. Let's go.
Take a bite of my
Shout out to you, Michael. What's good with you? Shout out to you, Jay Lombardi. Don't let it hit you, baby. Where all the haters at? Why don't you do me a huge favor? Just a huge favor. Come here. Lean forward. Right there. No, don't stop. Don't. You move it.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, play it too.
We out, baby. Peace. One love.
7 years of a perfect love. 7 more and another one. And another one.
Does Super Chats put you in the running for that jersey?